What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, there were a ton of rumors and reports swept up in last week's huge trailer drop, both for Guardians of the Galaxy and to a lesser extent, Ant-Man and the Wasp. And for a quick side note, there will be a proper full-second trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp coming sometime in the near future, but more on that in a second video. However, in the rumor mill and reports, it sort of got swept up again, and then we didn't have a chance to cover it the channel. There was actually quite a bit of information coming out about the upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine, or Deadpool 3, a huge casting grid including a maybe villain and some others we need to talk about. We also heard from Hugh Jackman himself in the last week about why he finally decided to change his mind and come back and play Wolverine in the MCU. We're going to break down the brand new casting grid reports and rumors about who the main villain for this film could be, and then what Hugh Jackman himself said about why he wanted to come back. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. We're also doing a daily comic giveaway, and we'll announce 2 brand new winners at the end of this video again. So all you got to do, be a subscriber, leave a comment on the video, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so this was as reported by the Direct, but originally from industry insider Daniel Richtman via a casting grid. And while the casting grid hasn't been confirmed by Marvel or Disney, so we're keeping it in rumor mill territory, these casting grids do get out all the time. How else would they cast these characters? And while they usually try to keep the character descriptions and or name of the character ambiguous, sometimes you can tell a little something. This again coming from Daniel Richtman, and according to the grid, quote, the movie is casting a female villain aged in her 30s, 40s, or 50s. This female adversary is reportedly a lead who is a foe to Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, it additionally goes on to say they're looking for a male lead who would be a leading man but not a suit. They want a strong actor who could also have comedy. The grid added that that character will also have scenes with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Now, there's already been some really good theories about who this female villain could be. First and foremost, Murphy's Multiverse pointed out, because of the comic that was being read on the toilet by Ryan Reynolds during their initial announcement for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine returning, that it could be Danger, which is basically the Danger Room training facility of the X-Men in their X-Mansion come to life in robotic form. And while I think there's a possibility of that, I'm not going to go as far as to say that one comic that he was reading actually foretells anything about the plot. Now, more likely, because of the multiversal nature of this film, the involvement of the TVA, and where it's suited in the multiverse saga, the second and I think most likely guess would be Lady Deadpool, who at some point crossed over into 616 in the comics. Wanda Wilson is from Earth 10, and while yes, she does typically team up with Wade Wilson and lead the Deadpool Corps. Yep, there is a Deadpool Corps in the same way that there's a Thor Corps, or say a Council of Reed Richards, or even a Council of Kangs. There is also a Deadpool Corps, but really she would just be an agent of chaos in the normal way that a Deadpool is, instead of your typical villain. So I'm not sure that she fits the bill in that sense. Now, another theory I saw put out there would actually be an all-grown-up X-23 played by Daphne Keane, but that doesn't make any sense either. A, because they said they're going to keep the intrinsic nature of what happened during Logan intact, and they don't want to mess with that. And B, a grown-up X-23 would have no reason to come sort of seek retribution on Logan himself. And one other final Reddit theory I saw in a couple of places was Lady Deathstrike, who is a villain of Wolverine's but is normally obsessed with his adamantium, and considering that wouldn't really play a role in the MCU as a whole or even the multiversal saga, hard to tell how she would play the role of a villain. But there is one other character uniquely tied to Deadpool, and though normally a love interest, I think may play a very interesting role in this film, considering a quote just a week ago from the anonymous internet scoopster at My Time to Shine Hello on Twitter. Deadpool kills the Fox universe at Robert Liefeld. There was an original rumor that Deadpool 3 could be just that, and now knowing that there's going to be the inclusion of the TVA with rumors that Deadpool and Wolverine would visit other Fox universes, not just the X-Men, but the Fantastic Four universe, it could be some sort of weird connection to Lady Death in a race to either kill off the old universes before the TVA gets to them, and or involvement with that, or conversely, he may be looking to save those universes. That would set up Lady Death as an adversary. Death has always been tied to Deadpool in the comics in some sort of weird love triangle with Thanos, and I think this might be a very interesting way to introduce her as an entity, especially considering the nature of how this may go. I will also make mention, though, that we have had a ton of confirmations from actors like the actor who plays Colossus, the actor who plays Shatterstar, that they're looking to bring back these X-Men as well. So figure this to become an enormous crossover, and in that context, I think there are actually limitless possibilities for who this main female villain may be. So while we have guesses out there, I think we still need a lot more of the story to try to figure out who this may be in a multiversal sense before we can actually narrow down what's going on with the villain. Now separately, as I mentioned in the prologue, we just learned in the last week in a reveal to Variety coming from Hugh Jackman exactly when and how he decided to come back as Deadpool, because as he said during this interview and several others, he wasn't lying when he said he was done. He truly had put that character to rest, but this is what he said to Variety, quote, "I went to a screening of Deadpool and I was 20 minutes in and I was like, ah, damn it. All I kept seeing in my head was 48 Hours with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. So it's been brewing for a long time, it just took me longer to get there." Variety goes on to say, quote, "At the end of August during a road trip to the beach with his family, he made the final decision. He called Reynolds, who'd been pleading with him on the daily for a Wolverine Deadpool movie. I think actually he'd given up," Jackman says. "I think it was a big shock to him. There was a massive pause and then he said, I can't believe the timing of this. Believe it or not, this all happened right before Reynolds was supposed to take a meeting with Marvel Studios and President Kevin Feige about Deadpool 3. This time he was able to walk in armed with the news that Hugh Jackman would be in. His quote is, quote, "Oh my God, I'm thrilled. It's like old home week to get to be on set with one of my closest friends. Each and every day is a dream come true. But to do it with these two iconic characters side by side, that's beyond our wildest dreams." And he also brings up that 3.5 years ago when Disney first bought Fox, that he had talked to Kevin Feige, and the quote was back then about bringing Wolverine in, "It wasn't possible. For this to be happening now is pretty damn exciting." And I think that that actually refers to the change in Kevin Feige, because he originally said back then Spider-Man was the only character that would be traveling the multiverse. I think there have been a lot of major developments behind the scenes on how Marvel Studios would look to treat these characters, and with the bringing back of Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, of course Patrick Stewart as Professor X, with the success of all of that and then the open door to all come back in Secret Wars, I think the eventual this was going to happen on a long enough timeline, maybe the pandemic attributed to pushing Deadpool 3 back far enough that eventually Hugh Jackman was in retirement long enough to want to get back in the game. What I will say though is there is one other thing that nobody mentioned during this article, neither Ryan Reynolds nor Hugh Jackman himself. There was one other reason he came back for it, and it's none other than money. They're actors, guys. This movie is going to make easily $1 billion, if not two, internationally. And that being said, again, just the per appearance fee to be back in the MCU for Secret Wars, not to mention the chance to get him in an official blue and yellow costume, which, fingers crossed, and as the thumbnail on this video portrays, hopefully is for sure going down and they're already designing. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below, how hype you are for Deadpool 3. If you have a different idea about who the villain could be or what's going to come in this film, I am all ears as always in the comments. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 1 million subscribers. We are headlong into it and so close. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please by all means do so. Help me get closer to that 1 million subscriber plaque. We are right around the corner, and I also just want to give away another PlayStation 5. In the meantime, we are giving away 2 comics from our friends over at Street Level Hero. That's slhla.com, and that Spider-Man booth, 2 exclusive variants. The 2 winners for today's comics are right here. Congratulations, guys, and thanks for your support of the channel. All you have to do, DM me on Instagram at IamFires, or go ahead and email me on my business email. It's under the About section of this channel. Go ahead, verify your account, and get these right out to you guys. And it's that simple. For any of the other giveaways, including the PlayStation or the daily comics throughout December, super simple. All you got to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here, so never in the comments. Be wary of spammers on my channel, any other channel, really any other platform. No content creator is ever going to ask you to telegram them and then ask for shipping. That's a scam. Be wary. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes with original music under the name Allfires. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications on. And as always, guys, thanks so much for checking the channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.